All right, welcome back. It is a cold and rainy December here in New Hampshire. Another day to go work on the bus, I think. It's nasty out. It's just freezing rain and not snow, but cold. It's my least favorite type of weather. Let's see if this thing will start. Get the heat on in that. And so the plan today is to go over, get back on the bus. Finally need to take those panels out. We've just had all sorts of prep for winter, getting that truck running. I had to replace a leaf spring and some other stuff. So I haven't touched the bus in a couple of weeks. But it's really time to get Mossy sorted so we can prepare for building the interior. So the next steps is going to be panels out, upper glass, the little sight glass, the flat glass out, and then the interior should be stripped pretty much to a point where I can say, okay, what wires are we saving and what wires are we adding before we insulate? So on we go. Got this cool shelf that my brother didn't want. So this will be handy to help organize this space. I don't know if I'm going to use it for bus stuff, but plan to use it for something. These two tables so far. All bus stuff. Let's get some lights turned on. Okay, so that's better. So I think the plan today is going to be, I need to start dropping all of these lovely tin panels. Now, it looks like the previous owner did a lot of the work for me. Loose. Looks like a successfully drilled rivet or screw. Yeah, that's an unsuccessfully drilled. Drilled. So I just gotta go and look. Here we have, you guys can't see it, but there's two that are removed and one that's still there. So it's gonna be one of these situations where I just gotta look at everything. There's some rivets, but I don't know if those are actually holding it in. So we'll have to do some figuring out to get these down. But once these are down, I'll have a good view of any of the old wiring. And there's a big loom there, which I think is all going to remain intact because we still have roof lights on the back, we still have tail lights, all that stuff works. These lights are missing, so this wiring will probably go away. But all of this wiring will definitely go away. These were the electronic, I think they were the electronics for the bell. Like you would push up there and it would ring the bell, this bell. Let's see if I can get a better angle of that. Come on, camera. No, you can't see it, but so those have to come out, and then all the flat glass has to come out. We want those gone so they can be cleaned / replaced / whatever. So without further ado, let's go do it. Okay, so we are definitely making progress. Obviously some animals. So we have rivet galore. Those are aluminum rivets. In this panel, for example, you have screw, rivet, screw, rivet, screw, rivet, screw. And that's factory. That's how it was. I don't know if I have this center panel. That's okay if that's going to wind up being wood or not. I still haven't taken this side out, but you can see all the rivets. Those are all aluminum. And then this trim piece on the bottom is held in with Phillips screws. You know, they're a struggle to get out. I think the correct way to do it is to punch the rivet hole first, which I haven't had that luxury yet, so I'm going to try that. Panels partially down on the tops here. And now this second piece, I believe I'm gonna take down using these bolts. So I think they're captive in the rail, like you can see right there, there's 2 speed nuts, okay? So those should come right out, hopefully. Most of the rivets are already popped on these, including down the bottom, which is great news for me. So I'm hoping when I pop those, like 7/16 maybe, I think 7/16, these should just drop, which should be amazing. And then we'd be done getting the tin out. I was surprised how much work it was to just get those pieces out. They sit in a brass channel right here. I think it's brass. You can see the end, and they kind of slip in. And then out here, they were riveted to these rails. So hopefully this will now come down without too much more effort. Of course, I broke one drill bit in this horrible drill set. I won't name the brand. And the other drill bit that I had brought just from my toolbox has been going great. So, what's next? I'm going to take these down. I didn't remember my 3/8 impact today. I'm going to see if I have a socket. I might have to run back to the house. Or maybe just over through that door to Dad's garage. Let's find out. So it already had the 7/16 on it over in Dad's shop, so that's perfect. Let's see if this is going to do what I want it to do. I think it did. I don't think it broke. There's the washer. Perfect. Let's go do the rest. All right, something I need to document because it's going to confuse me. These are held in with Phillips. See how there's an empty spot in the middle? No speed nut. And I think I know why, maybe. These two. For whatever reason, they're not centered with the ribs like the other ones are. And if I look directly across the bus, where this one came out, it is centered with the rib. Very weird. So, I'm not sure why that is like that. You would think it'd be perfectly symmetrical. But these two are not centered with the ribs. And it must be, I guess they moved the ribs because of the emergency door. It must be that. So anyway, I'm just documenting that if we start at the rear, we'll come forward from the Phillips at the back rib. First one does indeed have a 7/16. Second one does indeed have a 7/16. Third one has a single Phillips on the left, and the fourth one has a Phillips on the left and right. And then the fifth one, we're back to a 7/16 bolt. Weird, but I have to keep track of these things. Okay, we're making progress. Lots of animal activity. Not surprising. So, it's coming. Alright, so I wanted to give you guys a close-up of what's happening here. We're making a lot of progress. Wearing a mask today just because there's so much dust in the air, this mice nests and whatever. I'm not worried about viruses or whatever. We don't really have that on the East Coast, but it just makes you cough like crazy. So, wearing a mask. Panels are down. And next comes tar paper, which behind it is tin foil. So this was your vapor barrier. They used a spray on the ceiling, but they didn't do that down in the corners. Looks like something was in place already when they did that. Maybe it was the tin foil, I'm not really sure. It's like, almost like it was taped off. Actually, yeah, I guarantee that's tape mark. And when they sprayed this interior, they taped down because the windows were already installed. That's my bet. Same sort of spray is down here. So anyway, I just wanted to show you guys what it was like up close to pull one of these out. So it's just a Phillips. You rip open, get it all loose, and if you kind of shake it, it comes out of this channel here. And there you go. So there's one of the pieces of tar paper. That's what it looks like after. And we'll keep going and get this cleaned up. You can see the amount of stuff that's come out. Here is the tar paper pile. And then over the front of the bus here we have all of the tin vertically. So yeah, it's going good. It's a lot harder than I thought it would be to take down, and honestly I'm now reconsidering putting it back up. We have a lot of extra space between the bracket and the wall, so it'd be almost really nice to not put it back up just for the space savings. I'd still have to put some sort of chase there for the wiring looms because they're on both sides. But I guess I need to hear from more people. What do you guys think? Should I put the blue kind of Art Deco tin back up? It'll still be blue. We're going to repaint it. And then have, you know, a wood bit in the center and then blue down the sides to make it look kind of original. Or would just wood be nice all the way through? And if we do wood all the way through, we may two-tone that. We may do white wood in the center with wood tones down the side, just so it's not one giant, you know, similar color. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Okay, so panels are down. We were able to get all those out of here, and obviously with the bus clean it's quite echoey. So cleaned out the floors here mostly. The whole thing of course still needs to be vacuumed. Good news is I don't have to replace any plywood. Now that it's thoroughly clean, I can see all of it and there's no rot. This panel is going to go away. This piece of kick trim. It would have been the transition between this metal and this metal. And since I'm going to be going straight down, we won't need that. So that'll be easy to pop up. Yeah, but like I said, these were really hard to take down. The problem isn't that they're heavy or anything, it's that the top part of the panel, the transition between this curve and this piece of flat trim, there's I think it's brass. It's way too heavy to be aluminum. It might be aluminum. But there's a transition strip that's crazy heavy. So that is really hard. And the problem is that the two pieces, they squeeze into it and it's kind of like press fit. It's really hard to get them out. Now, that being said, putting them back in may be easy. I'm not sure. If you put that transition strip first, which I think is how they would have done it at the factory, and you just jam it up in there, maybe it's not so difficult. I really don't know. But I want whatever this chase is to be fairly serviceable, because I have bus wiring, I'll have home wiring, I'll have a lot of stuff in there. There's a chance that these heater pipes, so those are going away. And there's a chance that those, at least the coolant flowing up to the front heater core for the windshield defrost, might be put up here. So, I mean, there's a lot of reasons to have this to be really serviceable versus just visually appealing. So that's a decision we'll have to make. And I'm more than willing to take comments, suggestions. What else is interesting? Well, so next project is removing the uppers here, these windows, and we need all new gaskets, of course. Not a big deal. It's a standard universal gasket. I've done these before. They're not hard. The only bummer about this particular setup is that they go up above this rail. So this rail might need to come off, which I don't think will be that big of a deal. It's probably just these Phillips here holding it on. So once the windows are out, we can start cleaning up any rust around there, if there is any. And then we might get some new glass cut, depending, because these are really foggy, and I don't know if that's going to come off. It's, it's ancient glass. They were notorious for delaminating like this. It just doesn't look very good. So, depending on the price, we might get some new glass cut. And lastly, something interesting, that rail that I just mentioned, it goes through. So I'm thinking this would be a really cool opportunity to have downlighting right here. So if we put LEDs on the back side of this rail, it would just light up every window, which would kind of reflect and give a nice warm glow in the bus. So I think that might be something we do for the home project. Okay, and lastly, the front panels here. Those definitely, I think, are going to go back up because they look interesting. I like this. I believe I have this piece. If not, I'll get it. And I like the opportunity for storage up here. There's storage in there. That's where the air for the door used to be. And there is gonna be a whole lot of storage up here because this giant radiator heater thing is going away. And I'm not sure yet. I haven't determined if there's another heater core down here. I think there is. I'll have to open that up. I can't remember. I don't know if I can see pipes going down. I just can't remember. If there isn't, no big deal. I'll get one from a tractor or from a big rig or something. They're pretty affordable online, and we'll make a proper defrost situation. I mean, we obviously have defrost vents, so there's heat getting into this cubby somehow. I think there's one. We'll find out. This is going away. This was designed to heat the entire bus. And all these panels I took down was how the heat was distributed throughout the bus. So it would blow through there, all the way across the top, and then it would go back in that gap that I just noticed, which seems kind of obvious now, is how the heat would come down and keep everybody warm. Plus, this one was warming the floor area. So, should I put that back? Maybe. I don't know. Let me know in the comments if I should remove this. I really think I should. I want storage up here. It's huge. It's probably not in very good condition. I mean, it looks okay, actually. But if it leaked, what a nightmare that would be. I don't even know how the fan works for it. I think it must have been in this section, which is removed because there's no fan up here. that I'm aware of. So, yeah. Pretty nice though, having these down, so we're really close to insulating in the next few weeks. Running wires is not going to be that hard. I already have a floor plan laid out, which we'll reveal to you guys soon. So, yeah, I think on to the next bit, which is getting those windows out.